My first trip down here was in the mid-1960s. I had just completed a book called Wilderness and the American Mind, and some of the Sierra Club board of directors thought it would be a good idea if I came down, at least partway down the river, and weighed in on the battle that we were fighting at the time against dams in the Grand Canyon. A battle that if we had lost, the trip we're doing right now in 2012 would have been impossible. The river would have been dammed. I came down the river the first time only to Phantom Ranch, walked out the Bright Angel Trail. Next year came back to run the whole river. By the third year I was running my own boat, and I've continued running almost every year since the late 1960s. Well, the boat's 27 years old. It's taken a few hits, a few dents, but you know Bondo's wonderful stuff. It's been repaired a bit. Relationship of a person to a boat is a very special thing. It's just not like owning a washing machine. People think of them as living things. They think of them as a friend. They think of them, often name them after a woman. Many boats are named that. Mine happens to be named the Canyon Dancer. And the Canyon Dancer and I have had some great fun together and have been able to traverse this canyon something like 40 times. One thing I'm pretty good at is running whitewater. For me, the satisfaction of being over 70 years of age, being able to still run a river well, is very great. Even though I can't find my car keys some morning and I stumble and bumble at other times, I can still have that experience in the bank. And to me, that's a hugely important thing as you get older, to be able to think about the things that you can do well, the half-full philosophy. Sure, there's some stuff you can't do like you used to, but to celebrate what you still can do is pretty important.
I sailed on Lake Michigan from the time I was 7 until I was about 27. You know, I've been around boats and all that, and I saw that boat down here on the river and I thought, oh, I have to have one of those because it just looked so much more exciting, or you see more of the personality of the river, I guess. Not only do you get to see this, one of the 7 wonders of the world, pretty intimately. There's a lot of, I think, psychological things you can go through down here that will help you in your life. I think you can come down here, you get in touch with what's really important, and then lose a lot of the clutter that goes along with modern day life now. I think is kind of good. Last year I got washed off the boat in the V-wave. It wasn't scary at the moment because I think I was in shock. I punched the hull and upset a couple times, once in the dory, once in the cataract, the first trip down here in 2004 with the cataract. But I flipped in granite with my daughter, and that was the scariest moment. I came up underneath the boat, got outside of it and just held on, started looking for Maya, but at that point you're running down the right side just getting beat up. We got to the bottom. I looked around and she wasn't anywhere to be found. There was a boat there and I said, "Hey Ed, do you see Maya?" And he goes, "No, check underneath the boat." And I went underneath, she wasn't hanging on or anything, and I was pretty scared because it was like those things start to go through your mind. And I said again, where is she? And he said, "She's got to be underneath the boat." So I went underneath and felt her body up there, and it totally freaked me out for a second because I thought she got hung up and drowned. And then her hand touched mine. I was like, oh my God. She was in the front compartment and there was an air pocket there, and she used her arms to get up on top of the spare oars, and she just rode out the rapid inside the boat. So she came out, and it was pretty funny. She's got these big old blue eyes, and they were wide open. And I said, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm okay, Dad," you know.
Oh my God, it's a holy sight. I mean, I was just totally blown away. Much, much more than I expected. Just the canyon is absolutely majestic. I mean, there's real power there. It's one of the most wonderful places I've ever been.
A moving river that's been cutting its way through these rocks for some 6 million years and has worked its way down to some of the oldest rocks on the planet, rocks that are 1.8 billion years old. The schist, the Zoroaster granite, rocks that were the initial molten crust of the planet. One of the great challenges of being down here is we've come into grips with how short our lifetime is, how minuscule our civilization really is when measured against the great time scale that is revealed to us here every day.